clicked the camera off and flipped her lights on. Backing out, she pointed her car toward the interstate. Her conversation with Mrs. Clayton tomorrow wouldn't be pleasant, but it was probably expected. Delanie had enough evidence on the camera and the wire taped to her stomach to make the divorce attorney drool. This one was easy. She didn't have to do anything for the setup, but hang out in his favorite bar. He found her there and started chatting her up. Another working Friday night, and Delanie Fitzgerald couldn't remember the last time she had a date she didn't have to secretly tape. Chapter 1. Delanie slid out of her car and pulled her sunglasses down from her curls to block the blazing afternoon sun. Grabbing her backpack, coffee, and purse, she bumped the car door with her right hip and clicked the key fob twice, listening to the door locks click. On her way to the office, she shuffled everything to one side and jammed the key into the mailbox, snatching a handful of bills and junk mail addressed to Falcon Investigations. The receptionist's desk, empty as always, remained from the previous tenant. Her suite included a kitchenette, a conference room, and 2 offices. Small by most standards, the space worked for Delanie and her partner, Duncan Reynolds. Delanie and Duncan would be turning 40 in a few years, but each could easily shave at least 5 years from their ages because of their youthful looks and adventurous spirits. They had been good friends since college. Delanie had used her share from her father's estate to get her PI license and open the firm about 7 years ago, after business school didn't lead to anything interesting. Tossing the mail on her desk, she yelled, "Hey, Duncan. Dunk, you here?" A muffled, "Hey," came from the kitchen area. She followed his voice to find Duncan's feet sticking out from under the sink. "What's up?" she asked, stepping over Margaret, Duncan's 3-year-old English bulldog whose normal speed was napping. Margaret, who only moved for treats and for Duncan, looked like a brown and white log with legs. She wasn't much security, but she was good company. "We sprang a leak. We'll need a raft if we wait for maintenance," Duncan muttered from under the sink. "You okay?" "Yep," he replied. "I'm almost done. I think I fixed the problem." "You know I appreciate you. If the computer stuff doesn't work out, I'll put in a good word for you to take over for the maintenance guys." "Funny," he replied, standing up and wiping his hands on his jeans. He tested the faucet. The leak had stopped. Duncan, a computer geek, worked with Delanie on her cases when she could afford to pay him. The rest of the time, he paid for his office with website design and computer research, which Delanie believed was a euphemism for his extracurricular hacking activities. But he always found interesting information for her, so she never asked where it came from. "I finished Mrs. Clayton's case last night. You know, the wayward husband investigation. I gave her a copy of his misadventures, and she gave us a check. Woohoo! Paying clients." "Maybe things are picking up," he said. "We received a voicemail from someone interesting in California." "Cheating spouse or insurance fraud?" she asked, grabbing a water out of the small fridge. "Neither. A personal assistant for an author in Hollywood. They need a PI to run down some leads." "How'd the assistant find us?" asked Delanie. "Our fantastic website, of course." "What are you waiting for? Let's see what it's about." Dropping her purse and gently setting her cup of coffee on her desk, Delanie plopped down in her faux leather chair. Duncan leaned on a stack of papers piled on the edge of her desk. She glanced at the back of his computer, a montage of brightly colored stickers for crazy causes and interesting places. He scooted forward, and she punched the phone number for California and pressed the speaker button while Duncan clicked away on his laptop. After several digital tones, a raspy voice answered, "Todd Eastman." "Mr. Eastman, this is Delanie Fitzgerald from Falcon Investigations." "Oh, hi," he said. "Let me put the top up. I'm in the car. Give me a minute." After a long pause, he returned with, "Sorry about that. My employer is looking for a private investigator in Virginia to do some research for her." "What type of research?" Delanie asked. She wondered if he was tooling around in some exotic...